It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Dog. Thanks for being with me today. TGIF, everybody. Thank goodness it is Friday. You made it to Friday, and y'all, I am pumped about today's episode. The band Yes has been a band that I've known about for many, many years, but over the last several weeks, I have become a little more intimately connected with their music, and I have been enthralled by everything from them that I've heard, and many, many folks have been requesting the song Awaken by Yes. And that's the one that we're going to do today. On Fridays, typically on the channel, we reserve a little bit more time for a little bit more of an extended episode so that we can dive into these long, really wonderful masterpieces of progressive rock and pretty much anything else that we want to look at, but mostly progressive rock that we've been looking at. And this is one that I'm really pumped to listen to. It's also one that I am excited to have a cocktail while I listen to it. So today we are bringing up Bullet Bourbon. This is their 10-year Bullet Bourbon. I am going to pour a little bit. Let's see here. Love this stuff. If you saw our Kentucky video, we stopped at this distillery, and actually this is where I bought this little bottle. So we got a little bit of ice in there. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. It smells so wonderful. I'll look forward to sipping a little bit of that as we listen. A little bit about this song. It was recorded on and released on the album Going for the One, which was the 8th studio album by Yes. It was released in July of 1977. And interestingly, they recorded this in Switzerland. Little town on the eastern shore of Lake Geneva. I read that this is written by John Anderson and Steve Howe, and that Anderson was inspired, the lyrics of this were a little bit inspired by a book he was reading at the time, and the name of the book is called The Singer, a classic retelling of cosmic conflict by Calvin Miller. A little bit of light reading by our friend John. I think that some of the stuff that he was into, or maybe still into, helps inspire these, like his approach to humanism and his approach to spirituality in these lyrics of these great songs. The lineup for this album, John Anderson is on lead vocals and harp. Steve Howe is on guitars and vocals. Chris Squire on bass and vocals. And Rick Wakeman returns to the band for this album. He's on keyboards and organ. I did read that there's a real organ part in this one, just like there was in Close to the Edge, and that he recorded it in a church there in Switzerland, not far from where they recorded in the studio. And that Rick Wakeman also did the choir arrangement for this song. So I'm looking forward to hearing some choral parts of this, and Alan White was on the drums. So let's waste no more time, y'all. We're gonna dive right in. Yes, Awaken. I am listening to the 2003 remastered version of the original studio recording. I'm excited, y'all. We're gonna have some fun. Strap in. This is Awaken by Yes. Here we go. Woo. That little bit just reminds you of just an opening where you can awaken, and then you hear John's voice.
To the sun
Gosh, nobody else sounds like him. Dominant pedal in the bass. They're in E. Nine, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4. 11, 8, I think is where they are. So those chords are moving over the top of it with a consistent bass. Keeps it grounded. Giving you time to bloom, right? It's a good thing they didn't ask me to be the lead singer, I guess. It wouldn't have sold nearly as many copies. Little 4-chord, I do one. Guitar's trying to be too fast through this section. I think he's trying a little bit too hard. Just a little bit. Rhythmically, I think it's a bit busy. And it could have built up to that little lick. And again, Chris Squire's bass sounds like no other bass that I've ever heard. Nine, 10, 11. We're still in 11/8. Over the dominant, over B, alright, back to E, that's down in D. It's a nice major sound. Workings of man crying out from the fire set aflame by his blindness to see that the warmth of his being is promised for his seeing his reaching so clearly. Weird, interesting lyrics. Yeah. I've got the lyrics up over here. I think this progression is a circle of fifths progression that goes around all 12 chromatic pitches. If they get back around to it, I think that's what they were doing. Harp. First I thought recorder, but that's a pipe organ. It's a setting on a pipe organ. Yeah. Brilliant. They're just in a standard 6/8. They're hiding the meter a little bit. The addition of the pitched percussion is spot on. Do, bum, 1/5. Still an E. It's been relatively static, tonally. Really brilliant. The spacing, the time that they're taking to build up the textures. It's a consistent added ninth to this E sound. This is lovely. Okay, the bourbon's starting to get to me. Woo. These songs that are intrinsically on these large ideas, like humanistic, what it means to be spiritual in the world, how we connect to the energy around us, they take their time to just set the scene and set a soundscape for us to live in their world for a little while. It helps just as much as the lyrics do, if not more than, in some cases. Here's some of the choir. Flat 6, 5. Cool. That's a 5, then lays, sol, right? And a 4th, lay, re, do. Cool. Flat 6. They're doing that circle of fifths again.
Master of soul, sit to touch all impenetrable youth. Ask away.
F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, D flat, F sharp down to B, back to E. They're doing the whole thing, all the way around the circle. Except they're starting on E, and they're going all the way around the circle. You'll hear circle of fifths progressions that go around the diatonic collection, but around the entire chromatic collection is one, at least in popular music, that I don't know if I've ever heard. This is me air playing the organ. Chromatic third move? No. The organ pedals in there. Choir. I think that's an arrival back on E. It's like the beginning. The reverb on that's really interesting. Makes it sound like a memory now. Wish the sun to stand still, reaching out to touch our own being, past all mortal as we. Here we can be. We can be here and still be spiritual. I think that's what he's talking about. We don't need to wait for some promised eternity. If you want to call it heaven, you can have a little bit of heaven on earth. Be spiritual here. Here we can be. What a masterpiece. What a masterpiece. You know, that little lick that we had at the end, that little guitar lick, I think that's a compositional mistake. I didn't think it needed to be there. I think it almost made it sound like the end of a Beatles song or like a little Eric Clapton lick at the end. And I think it takes away from the specialness of how we ended that. In the moment, it took me away from where I was emotionally, right? If the song was going to go on and sort of incorporate that a little bit more into the ending, I think it would have been interesting. But they work so hard to help us awaken, right? And get to a spot where we're understanding what they're talking about, and we've been in this shared experience, and we're at this arrival point, and then this little spot comes over it and changes it. It's just a reaction in real time to what I heard. I didn't think that the ending guitar needed to be there. However, holy buckets, y'all, what a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. I still reacted a little more emotionally to Close to the Edge, but I think this is a close second, even more than Gates of Delirium. What a wonderful, wonderful piece. There's just something about the way John Anderson sings, and there's something about Chris Squire plays the bass, and there's just something about the way that Rick Wakeman plays the keyboards and the organ. Just the way that his timing and his voicings work is just spot on. Of course, the other guys in the band are all wonderful. It's just that those things to me are the most special, unique things about this band and their sound. Steve Howe's guitars are great, and Alan White's drums are exquisite, right? But you can't really. I mean, John Anderson is, when the opening of the song comes out, and I think it was all that fast piano at the beginning, right? And then it's like, out he goes, and there's no weight, there's no earthbound gravity to his voice. His voice just floats, and it's a special, special thing, especially for the range that he sings in. It's just astounding. I I can't believe I wasted all this time not listening to this music. What such a wonderful thing. I loved that. I absolutely loved that. So thanks to everybody for continuing to send in submissions and to be a part of the community. We're planning some cool things, I think, for later this summer. We're trying to take the next step forward, but we're going to keep doing these reaction videos and taking the journey and listening to some wonderful music. And I'm thankful to all of you for hanging out with me. Cheers, everybody. We're just looking for a little inspiration, aren't we? And these wonderful musicians and their pieces help us along the way. I'm thankful for all of you, and I hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week for more music. Until then, we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.